With blood and rage of crimson red, ripped from a corpse so freshly dead, together with our hellish hate, we'll burn you all. That is your fate.
This is Red Lantern Russell from
Tomes of Evil,
and you're listening to Sector 2814, a Green Lantern podcast.
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to make sure you know all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on all new episodes of Wade's World, Boob Windows and Long Boxes, our Hard R movie reviews, and so much more, all completely uncensored. Access starts for as little as $1 a month, full videos when you pledge $3 a month. Check us out at the link in all of our show notes, or just go straight to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight,
but those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back to another week of Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me as always, Master of the Core, it is.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
And Master of the Pensive Stare, it is.
This is Matt.
I'm watching. Alright, kids. So, we got a big one for you tonight. We got 4 issues of Guy Gardner, 11 through 14, with the new writer, and the last 3 issues of Green Lantern Mosaic, 16, 17, and 18. You know what this means? We're only 2 weeks out from Emerald Twilight.
We are indeed.
I was like, no. Alright, so I know I was just talking to Will Matt. He has not seen Shang-Chi. Have you seen Shang-Chi yet, Matt? He's frozen.
It looks
No. I still love Widow. I get it home. So
yeah, that's what we were talking about. That should be coming soon to Disney Plus for free. I mean, that was at the beginning of July.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be on Disney Plus for free. So
I mean, yeah. What is it? Is it like 45 days or something, Will, or something?
something like that. That sounds
Eventually,
that sounds right.
eventually, it because I know they said after a certain period, once it's all out of theaters and after a certain point, whenever it hits Blu-ray, probably I think that's when it hits Disney Plus or whatever.
Okay.
But that was, because I said that released like beginning of July, so that should be coming soon to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But no, Shang-Chi was good, especially, I learned that it's pronounced Shang-Chi. I pronounced it Shang-Chi my whole life.
Did they kind of? This is spoilery, so if Matt, you can tell him to not answer, and I'll be fine with it. But
I can take off my headphones for a second.
Did they redeem kind of Mandarin, or is Mandarin in it at all?
Yes and no. He
okay,
is.
that's all I need to know.
Well, no, he is, but he really doesn't use the name Mandarin. Yeah.
Okay.
Or should I say, which Mandarin?
Yes.
Because there's a.
Are you still talking?
That's okay.
No, I was gonna say. Yeah, no. I mean, it really wasn't too spoilery, but
I mean, yeah.
That thing you were just asking me about, Will. Let's just say. They kind of redeemed, and there's also someone from a previous MCU movie shows up in this that they haven't been advertising shows up here.
Oh, interesting. Gotcha. I mean, the title is Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings, so, it's maybe a little spoilery in the title.
And as always, kids, sit through the credits. There are end credit scenes. So, trying to think of what I can say without getting too spoilery. I mean, again, it's pretty good. I mean, the cast is pretty good. You know who's in it, Will, towards the end? Michelle Yeoh from Star Trek Discovery.
Nice.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's always good. She's great here. Mm-hmm. Lots of if you like action, there's lots of kung fu, fighting and martial arts.
Very cool. Yeah, definitely one to watch.
Yeah.
Just probably not in theaters in the South at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
do you think that this movie Do you think that this movie, like, if you hadn't watched any other Marvel MC, because this is essentially like the first of the new generation, right? The new phase. Do you think that this like is a good tentpole movie, like to kick things off?
Yeah, most of
Iron Man was.
Yeah, most of this movie, like I said, there's like one character who shows up for a little bit from a previous MCU movie, but for the most part, like 90-some% of this movie, like you could walk into this never having seen an MCU movie and follow it for the most part.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty standalone. But that's the other thing I was going to say, because even if you just wanted to pay and watch it on Disney Plus, you couldn't watch this one. I guess they said, I think during the weekend, they said like Disney has like 2 or 3 weeks left to make the decisions on Eternals, whether they want to make that just theater only or do like the thing they did with Black Widow and,
Are getting sued for.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably the big thing. It's like, oh, no, I want to get sued. So yeah, I don't know if Eternals will be theater only or not, because that's like the first week in November.
Cool.
But then I think, what was it? Was it yesterday or today? I think they announced they had moved Venom 2 back to like the middle of October. Now I think they moved it back up to like the first weekend in October or something. So I don't know what the heck they're doing. So I think was it supposed to be this summer or this month? Yeah, they moved it back to the middle of October. Now they moved it up to the beginning of October. Maybe because they saw Shang-Chi was getting so, good box office or something. And then, of course, Spider-Man comes, I think, like a week before Christmas.
It should be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Should be interesting.
Oh, that's going to set up Doctor Strange, too.
Yeah, when is that one coming out?
I don't know.
March?
I don't know if it's that soon. I swear I thought there was other MCU stuff before that. Oh, no, it says 2022. Oh, yeah, it is March. Doctor Strange 2, March 25th.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Very cool.
Heck, yeah. And I think they already confirmed Scarlet Witch is in it. I see
Mephisto. Sorry.
Well, and Sam Raimi's directing Doctor Strange 2, so Bruce Campbell's going to be in it, because... I think it was Charlie was saying, he's like, can you imagine what if they made Bruce Campbell Mephisto?
Just check all the boxes, wouldn't it?
I don't know if I told you guys, but I don't care if they bring in Mephisto, but if they do, I want him to really break the fourth wall and be like, okay, I'm here already. Shut up.
So, anything good the last week? I know we talked about, there's 2 Green Lantern. Green Lantern 6 came out today along with the Green Lantern Annual, I think.
Like I said, I'll pick them up tomorrow. I'll give you the report next week.
Awesome.
You read anything good, Matt?
I only read one comic this week, and it was Cable Reloaded, number 1.
Yeah, because that's part of that Annihilation crossover, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't read all of the Annihilation. I think that I picked up the Guardians of the Galaxy one, because that started at the end, right? Where we talked about in our annual.
Yeah.
And I didn't read the following issue, but I just kind of read that one, and it was all right.
And it was a good issue. Yeah, because old Cable was back. They had teenage Cable running around, but yeah, old classic.
Yeah, none of that. I don't need to.
But Will, what member of the Guardians of the Galaxy has Cable idolized his whole life?
Yes.
Think big guns. Yes, Rocket Raccoon.
Okay, that actually makes a weird kind of logical sense.
He likes big weaponry. Did he ever have pouches? I can't remember.
He is a marsupial, so...
Yeah, but do raccoons have pouches?
Oh, is he a marsupial too? I think he is.
Trash panda. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything good. Yeah, we were just talking about What If. That's been good. Oh, did you see, I guess, tomorrow's episode of What If's going to be zombies? Marvel Zombies.
Oh, it's Marvel Zombies. I did see something about that, I think, on the Twitter feed today.
Yeah, like I said, I can't spoil it because it's not out yet. But yeah, I thought I read something today. I think the synopsis said something like, at the beginning of Infinity War, when Banner comes back to Earth to warn them about Thanos, yeah, he comes back, and that's when the zombies are there.
Oops. Thanos wouldn't have to kill them because they're already dead.
Well, the timing probably not going to work out, but my theory was Thanos did a bad snap and made like half the universe zombies or something, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
I guess we'll see tomorrow. I mean, the animation on the series has been great.
Yeah.
And the episodes have been really good too, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And last week's was dark.
Very dark.
I think they started off with the lighter ones, and they're just like progressively getting darker. Probably on purpose. All right, so should we jump into these? Yeah, because since we got 7 tonight.
We got 7 issues. Yep. Let's do this.
We don't really have to stop after each issue to talk individually, do we?
Yeah, no. Do we want to?
Maybe there's like what.
Lump all Guy Gardner together.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, let's just get through the Guy Gardners first. So yeah, 11 through 14, which is basically yesterday's sins 1 through 4. 11 through 14, August through November 1993.
A little while ago.
Yeah. So basically, these aliens capture Guy, and they have a bunch of other hostages, and they're looking through Guy's memories. So, yes, that's how we kind of get it. Guy Gardner year 1.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is this the one? It's been a few weeks since I read this. Isn't this the one where we get the origin of why he has his bowl cut?
Yes, and this really feels like it was all kind of plotted out, and all this backstory came from Jones and not necessarily Dixon.
Yeah,
because I don't know that we ever really got any background on him. He was, a football coach or something. There wasn't really much backstory to him, and I really don't know where it. This feels kind of like it's new backstory, and I don't know that for a fact, but.
I don't know. It seems like sometimes there's like a precedent for like when a new writer jumps on, they do a year 1. Like this is Dixon's first issue was number 11. Like when Mark Waid took over Flash for the first time, he did like a year 1 for Wally West. So I don't know. Maybe Dixon did it because he was taking over the book, or
maybe. But it feels like
it almost
stuff that Jones was setting up.
Yeah, it almost made it seem like they were trying to make him a more sympathetic figure.
Yeah, instead of jerk.
Yeah, he's not a jerk just for the sake of being a jerk. It's like, oh, look at the rough childhood and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you think, Matt?
About the backstory.
Yeah,
I don't know. I thought it was kind of like a nice, about like the alien abduction, like the setup for it. I thought it was interesting enough. It was kind of like a good excuse to. It almost seemed like a flashback episode of a sitcom, where you're like, I remember this, but with episodes that you haven't seen before. So, him getting sort of blinked out of reality, also by mistake. They were expecting it to be Hal.
Yeah,
and that was funny. Yeah, like I thought it was a pretty good splashy debut for a new writer to sort of not have to just jump on an inherited storyline, kind of take something new and run with it, but give it something old, It kind of made because I liked Guy Gardner well enough for being a wise guy, but this kind of made him into a sympathetic character.
And we had 4 brand new Green Lanterns in this? Was it 4 or 5?
Right. Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be around for a long time.
Four like personalities and one that was kind of like a blob.
A blob, yes, we had a blob.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine? They told Dixon, "Yeah, go ahead, make as many Green Lanterns as you want. It ain't gonna matter in a few months." What? Nothing.
Which is interesting when we get to Mosaic in the letter column in number 18. That's interesting, yes.
But no, this was interesting just because it's like, the first 10 issues under Jones and that. It's just like, a lot of humor, a lot of, I got attitude, get the hell out of my way and stuff. And,
slapstick over the top.
Yeah, but we finally start to get a little bit serious here.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if, like, is that just because Dixon wanted to do that, or was there maybe just like, hey, the numbers aren't that great, how about, maybe we take this a little more seriously, maybe?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It talks about, in the letter columns for these, it talks about Green Lantern 47, and it talked about, Mosaic, 18 or 16, I think it was 18. But yeah, I don't know, we still don't know when, all the different creative teams knew when everything was going to change,
Yeah. I just wonder, I wonder if they kept it a secret from a lot of them, just be like, because they might even just told Chuck Dixon, be like, oh yeah, you're going to have to change the status quo. Eventually he's going to lose that yellow ring. And
yeah. Yeah, we're going to have to, that's something we're going to have to figure out. What happened to that ring at some point, right?
Doesn't it get destroyed? I mean, we're going to get there in a few weeks, but doesn't it get destroyed or something?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, does Hal destroy it? Spoilers?
Maybe. I can't remember. It's been so long. I guess we'll get there.
They duke it out. Well, too, I mean, how, even if he had been able to keep that, how effective a thing would that have been? Because it charges off of Green Lantern energy, and after Emerald Twilight, there's only one green ring running around for a while, so.
That's right.
Would have to become roommates with Kal Rayner if he was going to have to use that ring.
That could be a wacky sitcom, couldn't it?
The Odd Couple. He's a new superhero. The other one's a huge jerk.
Yeah. I did find it a little odd that this, for a year one type story, it didn't really end. It went directly into another crossover.
Yeah.
With Justice League Europe. And then continued into Guy Gardner 15, I guess, is a 2-part crossover where there's an evil guy running around.
Oh, Justice League America? Yeah.
Oh, Justice League America. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, because we will touch on one of those Justice League issues next week. And then Guy just leading an escape and stuff. But yeah, no, it's just the whole thing's interesting about the brother, and that.
Yeah.
Always trying to measure up to that brother and his. Talk about weird hair.
Yeah. And then also they announced, I think, in 14 that Joe Staton was leaving as the penciler. So he had done, I guess he had done every issue up until 14, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I guess, I don't think it's on. I don't think it's on the cover of 15, but it's like, sadly he's leaving now, but we wanted 15 to be his last one to complete the year one cycle, but schedule didn't allow it. Yeah. Oh yeah, 15. I guess they're saying guest penciled by Chris Hunter from Trinity 2.
Trinity.
What?
Trinity is going. Yeah, he even talks about Trinity going on, right?
At least, I guess the year 1, 2 is the excuse why Guy didn't show up for Trinity. Although it was kind of weird because it was like, that was the other thing in this series up to this point. It's like he had like a ring that's kind of an equal to a Green Lantern ring, but he really wasn't doing too much cosmic. He'd get in fist fights with Lobo, but he really wasn't doing too much cosmic stuff, unless it was like attacking somebody, some alien.
Or the silent issue where he's just beating up guys.
Yes. And then 14 is just like beating up his evil double.
A common thing with Guy Gardner is since he got this new ring or it left the Corps, he's not actively seeking to go out into outer space, It's kind of an all-American embodiment of lazy 90s jaded sarcastic Americans,
Cynical too.
yeah, like he has to get drawn to space. Like we don't even see how he gets to what's it called? How he gets to the Mosaic land, like how he gets confronted by them, or
Well, we'll get there in a couple minutes, but I thought we'd do this first because don't they kind of hint around just by his attitude that maybe that's the double on Mosaic? That's not actually the guy.
That's what I got out of that. I'm not certain of that, but that's kind of what it felt like.
Because I swear, when we get there in a few minutes, I swear in Mosaic there's at least 1 or 2 references like, man, why is this guy so nasty? Oh, extra nasty all of a sudden.
Because it's the evil guy. Sorry.
But I just love, even with the tortured past, it's like, he was gonna be still a somewhat decent guy until one, he gets hit by a bus, then he gets picked to be the backup Green Lantern, and then a faulty power battery, throws him into another dimension, and then he's like in a weird.
You should really talk to the Guardians about quality control. I mean, really.
I know, and it's just. And again, I think we talked about this before, but he's in a coma until they wake him up. That lead those criminals during Crisis. It's like if they could have woken him up all those years, why didn't they before that? Jerks. But I love when he's talking. When his mind's like a blank slate and stuff. He's like my only comfort was my girlfriend Kari Limbo didn't run off with Hal Jordan.
Sorta.
I don't care that I was in a coma. Yeah, just as long as Hal Jordan didn't touch my girl. And then his time with the Justice League, which I think I have like a collection of the first couple issues of that Justice League from 1987. And I forget who wrote it. Was it the editor? Somebody wrote it. It's like they were giving them the new team. They're like, rebooting Superman. You can't have Superman. Rebooting Wonder Woman, you can't have right after Crisis, you can't have Wonder Woman. And like, I guess they were starting to panic, and it's like, okay, you can have Batman. Okay, cool. Okay, we can give you Guy Gardner Green Lantern. It's like, okay.
One punch.
Think John's not doing anything right now, and Hal's wandering the country, so we can give you Guy Gardner.
It's perfect.
Hey, it's comic relief. I mean, I guess you could play,
Well, I mean, and that's what really that league was,
oh yeah,
it was more sitcom than superhero stuff. So
I think the first issue opens, guy sitting at the table by himself with his feet up, saying, "I'm going to be the leader of the Justice League."
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on this Guy Gardner, Matt?
No, not really. I mean, it went by fast for like a 4-parter. I was engaged enough. I pretty much read it all in one sitting.
Yeah, it's flowed pretty good. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like, but then like Will said, it's weird because it doesn't, they don't wrap it up in a neat bow. It's like, hey, you gotta go read Justice League.
Yeah.
Issue Justice League and then come back here in a month.
Yeah, I mean, I did like him injecting himself into his own memories and dealing with his younger self a bit, and it was kind of very Back to the Future-esque.
Make like a tree and get out of here. Oh my god! Anytime those are on TV, I just like stop and watch. They were on some channel was playing them over and over. Was not this past weekend, but the weekend before, I think.
Yeah, they're classics, and they feature. They feature back the first one on Movies That Made Us, which is a cool little documentary about how it could have been a completely different movie very easily.
Oh yeah, because they have someone else in mind besides Michael J. Fox. Yeah.
Yeah.
Minor. I hate Minor. Oh my god! Remember we were talking Bloodlines? Look at that list of all those here. Each annual introduced a new character. Look at that list.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I was looking through some of the ads. I was like, wow. This takes me back.
Oh, I know. I think there's one of these Guy Gardner issues. There's like an ad for the Robin 2 miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Drake encounters the Joker for the first time. It's like, he's the guy who killed the last kid to be Robin. And Batman's out of town.
Oops.
Oh, as if the comics weren't enough, you could get your Bloodlines trading cards too, kids.
There we go.
Meanwhile, all you see is the 4 Supermen on there. You don't even see anything. All it just says Bloodlines. 81 card set based on 1993 DC Comics annuals. Cards for each of the characters claiming to be Superman. Oh yeah, because randomly inserted foil embossed version of 4 Reign of the Supermen cards.
Gotta have them.
Oh yeah, all the special cards in the Bloodline set were Reign of the Supermen cards. So, all right, enough Guy Gardner. Are we gonna get the Mosaic?
Let's do the Mosaic.
Yeah.
All right, so first one, number 16 from September 1993. I was going to say, make you guys sit through these long synopses. Yeah, issue 16. John awakens with Kat Matui with him to find that the Justice League has arrived.
That technically does happen in that issue, yes.
I know, that's pretty funny because, like, issue 16, John is nowhere on that cover.
Nope.
Look who's stealing the show with his broad shoulders.
Yeah, Luke Madam's a solid artist, but I was a little bit disappointed that it wasn't, Cully Hamner back on the art, because it felt like McDonald was trying to kind of ape Hamner's style, but it just didn't come off great.
Because, I mean, Guy Gardner, or at least a double of Guy Gardner doesn't even look that bad on the cover, but, like, Hal and Flash look weird. I mean, is it just me, or is there something off with that head-to-shoulder ratio on Hal?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But, yeah, remember... yes, Matt?
Is Flash also, like, silent in this whole issue? Or every time he appears in the next 3 Mosaic issues? I feel like he appears on stage or on panel, and people talk about him, but...
And he does the whole running fast, and he gets the shaving ad commercial things,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, did he say something then? But, yeah, I know what Matt's talking about. I think he's mostly, like, background for most of this.
And Power Girl's kind of mostly background, too.
But yeah, I think it was just the point of Hal shows up with
the Justice League,
with an army basically, yeah.
Because mainly if I remember 16, it's kind of Rose narrating it up to a point, with some of her history and history of the town and the history of their time on the Mosaic.
Yeah, basically, it starts off with her history, and then she gets to the point when Hal and Oliver Queen showed up in town the first time, and
And I think I mentioned this before, we started the episode, but man, some of those pages were just walls of text. There was a lot of, they were dense. They were really, really dense.
Oh yeah, when she's just like retelling stuff, just boxes and boxes, Yeah, then we see all the alien ships come to bring all their people home. But yeah, first she was talking about, then when she met Guy Gardner, remember, in the road back, and then it's like, then John, another Green Lantern, another alien creature of power, but this one wanted to stay on the Mosaic and make the place work. And then, of course, you have to have a panel of him drinking coffee.
Yes, because...
we've been doing that since episode 4. John drinking coffee. Come on.
But, a lot of this episode this issue was kind of just set up, right? Didn't they go around and talk to everybody in 17, or did that happen here in 16 as well?
No, I think it's mostly in 17.
17.
Yeah, because Rose is outside. Rose is still outside thinking on page 9, and then page 10 is that splash that Justice League shows up.
Yeah, and then at the end is when John wakes up.
Yeah, and
we get more prophecies from the Malthusians.
Exactly. Okay. Okay, here it is. Page 12, Martian Manhunter says, "What's wrong with you, Gardner? You're angrier than ever." And he says, "That's my business, Jones." And it says, "See Green Lantern," or Guy Gardner 11 through 14.
So that could go either way.
Exactly. See, not why are you angry? Why are you angrier than usual?
Yes.
He's angry about his past, or he's angry because he's the double?
Yeah. He's double angry.
So if you go by the end of 14, it's like seems like he's like the real Guy Gardner's headed to Earth to like try to stop his double, but meanwhile his double's on Oa.
Yeah.
But and then in the Guy Gardner thing, they said the double had all his memories, right? Because here Guy's like, "Oh, something's wrong with Stewart. When I came to Oa to take Sinestro's ring, Stewart came to stop me, and he let Sinestro take him over." I love Guy. Something's wrong with somebody.
Maybe you got hit in the head too many times. Oh wait, that's me. Sorry.
And then Toby, "Could you beat up Uncle John?" And Guy Gardner's like, "Anytime." And then Toby, he beat me up once. Because he was possessed. Alright. There's your Batman Returns for Super Nintendo. I know Kona had to have that.
I don't think I had it, but these old video game ads do make me nostalgic.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not good at video games. Like, I would love if somebody had. There's probably YouTube videos. I've seen YouTube videos of video game superhero playthroughs or whatever, but maybe I'll just look those up. Silver Surfer, I think, was a notoriously hard game.
Oh, I love that. I did beat it long ago.
Unless you had the cheat code, there was a cheat code for like infinite lives, so you could just like go through and just like start blasting everything, and if you died, so what? You brought you back to the same spot. So
I did not know that.
Yeah,
that would have been so much easier.
Yeah, man, it doesn't take you that long. You go through all the levels. Then I think the last boss was Mephisto. I think
that sounds right. Yeah. And that game had a nice paint. That was a Joe Jusko like painted cover on the game box or something, if I remember right.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, that was one of the ones they did pretty well. Oh Lord! And then when Rose is arguing with everybody, the kids show up and
with power rings.
Yes.
Yeah, the kids core.
And Kyle's telling them they have to surrender their rings, and Martian Manhunter's like, people in the Mosaic sent out SOS signals. Oh no, here
are they the first Teen Lanterns?
Oh, maybe. Ooh. Yeah. Oh no, here Power Girl has like a bubble or two. Hail. The Green Lanterns tried to work it out quietly long enough. Now their hands have been forced, and the heroes of Earth are going to help keep the return of the cities peaceful. And fake Guy Gardner's like, he's not here than I thought if he gave kids rings. And then a lot more text boxes.
A whole lot more, yes.
And of course, then the Guardians have to make their virtual presence known. They're still not going to stop it. This will be a fascinating exercise in cosmic cooperation.
Yep. And then, it ends on that cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, but then, Guy tries to, ring Rose again, and Hal knocks him down. But yeah, Rose runs into the house. Hal follows her. Yeah, and what is that? Is it Peeper or whatever that had John unconscious?
Oh, yeah. It has all those eyeballs. I think it's called a Peeper.
Looks like it's a giant mouth with full eyeballs. But then John wakes up and he's like, "Hey Rose, I'd like you to meet someone. This is my wife, Katla Tui."
See, even she is ignoring the events in Action Comics Weekly.
I was gonna say, are we finally retconning the final thing from Action Comics Weekly? Hal's like, "Oh, thank God! Now I can forget that yellow safe." So then that's how you get the cover for 17. Alien Gothic.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, this whole series was good, but wordy. So of course you get lots of talking. But yeah, you see members of the Justice League going around the Mosaic, asking people if they want to leave. Well, beings if they want to leave or not.
The beginning of it is actually kind of interesting because you go, "Oh, everybody's dead." Not really. I stopped everything because I'm that powerful now. And I just made sure everybody got evacuated that wanted to, and everything's fine. Done. No big deal. I'm a guardian. Yay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because in the beginning of 17 here, he's like, the Guardians had nothing to do with this. He's like, I made the Mosaic. I took over the mind of the power of the knowledge of the old timer, and I made it. I made it to pay the Cosmos back for the deaths I caused. And Tao still doesn't believe him. And the Justice League flies off, and Rose is like, aren't you going to stop him? He's like, no. He's like, let me talk to the people in the Mosaic.
They'll figure it out.
He's like, they'll find people eager to go home, but there's going to be others who are, who are willing to stay. Because we would see Kilowog asking, what is it, the Barites or Chazalon's people?
Mm-hmm.
And then Martian Manhunter goes to those guys working out.
And then Power Girl goes to the homeboys.
The homeboys, yeah.
Who are literally homes for other things.
Well, yeah, they're housing one of those. Those really fragile.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then Flash is, I forget where he goes.
That's when they do the Mosaic shave signs.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he has a quick bubble or two. He's talking to his alien. Well, is that or is that the Trendoids who like always like imitate people?
Oh yeah.
So like here they're imitating was it like
they don't want to go because hey, go back to we won't have all this new stuff to imitate. Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing Sherlock Holmes right now.
Yeah.
All right, kids, you want to know firmly where this takes place in DC history? I'll give you Batman 500.
Asbat.
And the next issue after what we covered last week, Adventures of Superman 505. He's back and mulleted.
In mulleted, yes. He has been in mulleted.
Oh, and then of course, Tomar Ray's people and some of the other ones are going to get how because they're all playing baseball.
Oh yeah.
I love this old coach. He's like a human guy. He's like, man, I never had a team this good.
Yeah. It's awesome. They just pick up the game. I've never coached a game like this. I want to stay.
Yeah.
Still better than the Mets.
Yeah.
Some of them are still learning.
Right. I wonder when this came out. I think this is probably predated the Deep Space Nine baseball episode, right? But
maybe.
Watching aliens play baseball is always cute.
Yeah, because I was going to... I don't know. This is 93, so... Do you know what season that was, the DS9?
I think it was like the last season.
Oh, yeah, probably. So yeah, I think this predates it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because it would have been like 95 or 96, right?
At least, yeah, because I think when did Voyager started in, 94, 95, didn't it?
Think so, maybe.
Yeah, because I think it was after TNG went off the air, so it was at least 94, 95. And then fake guy runs into those fairies.
Yeah.
And then a big dragon. And then, speaking of Trinity, there's a city there from Maltus. Conditions are...
Oh, yeah, and Hal goes and checks out the guy that, read the prophecies or whatever.
Oh, yeah. He talks about the phony gods he just fought. Of course the gods were false. The stories of the return of the gods were metaphors, not to be read concretely.
But these stories, however, are written to be read concretely.
Boy, so did they just throw ads in these books willy-nilly? Because again, like I said, Adventures of Superman 505 ad was first. Now, further on, you get Green Lantern 64 and Superman 82, so it's like, he's back! And then a couple pages later, this is how he comes back. The opener of doors will not be a triarch of gods, but one man. A man from another world who's himself creator, sustainer, and destroyer. A man whose hands are red with the blood of multitudes. Like a whole planet? Yeah.
And that's something that gets addressed in, by Jeff Thorne in the Legends Green Lantern series. I think he comes up with something he calls Crux Worlds, which, kind of fits in with the whole, what do they call it now? Infinite
Frontier? Is that what you're talking about?
Infinite Frontier stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and there was future state stuff that's how the core went down. So they're using some of that future state, yeah. So like I said, I never really read Dark Stars, but I'm wondering if this is like the last we talk about John as a Guardian until like the current stuff.
I think so, yeah. I think it's, once Emerald Twilight hits, it feels like anything pre-Emerald Twilight is just kind of ignored unless it's brought up specifically for a story in Green Lantern at that time, which, didn't really deal, it dealt with characters from the core, but not really any plot lines or anything from that time.
Like I said, I never really read Dark Star, so it'll be interesting to see if they drop even a line or just like, here, hey, look, it's Jon Stewart, slap a suit on him.
He's a Dark Star.
But yeah, then the Justice League sitting around and going, what are we going to do? And, fake guy even asks Hal what he thinks. He's like, I have to admit, I'm thrown by everything I've seen today. John's just like, attaboy now. Oh, Lord. But Hal's going to summon the Guardians. Maybe they can tell us what the hell the truth is. One of the last times we'll see Hal Jordan for a while.
chatting with the little blue dudes.
Yeah, asking them their opinion. Then Kilowog even asked, "Can you return the cities?" And we cannot. It is not for us to undo this work. Fake guy. Oh yeah, I almost forgot why I missed these guys so much. Here's the line. I'm the Messiah, Hal. Get used to it. Have some coffee. Oh, he even tells Hal, we fought before, Hal, and you lost. Now I'm in contact with the power I didn't even suspect then. But then they get interrupted because one of the ships starts.
Oh yeah, this is the part where, oh my gosh, it's going to be the end of every city on the Mosaic.
We have decided to end the Amazons. We have decided to end the experiment. We are unleashing a hell burner that will destroy every community on the Mosaic but our own. It is already too late to stop it.
That's what they think.
That's right. So, should we just jump into the last one and then get our thoughts at the end?
I think so. That sounds good to me.
Sure.
Yes. The last issue, 18. A Guardian rises and then does nothing for like a couple decades.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Yeah. The end. It's pretty gruesome at the beginning. It looks like the Mosaic's all been destroyed, but.
I mean, it does demonstrate how powerful John is now. He just, hey, I stopped it all, and then I moved everybody that wanted to leave off, and talked to them in 1,000 different languages or something, and all simultaneously. It's interesting.
And you just see, so what? There's like some flashes of what could have been. So I think, was this Jones saying, this is what I would have did if we would have kept going.
Yeah.
They're talking about some of the aliens, but then...
And at the end, he's like, there's going to be a new status quo in Green Lantern, but I don't think it was the status quo that he thought. Because it doesn't feel like, they're going to tear down everything. It's like, it's just going to be, more of the same. Hal may go, rogue, and there may be something else, but not what we got, in Emerald Twilight. At least I didn't get the feeling that that's what he was expecting to happen.
Yeah. No, because I think this Guardian thing would have went somewhere, because we see John, eat his ring.
Yeah.
That's a way to get rid of it.
That was funny.
But yeah, basically gets one of those Guardians red dresses and then goes up to talk to the Guardians. But no, I thought it was interesting. Is this the one where they say that's why they had such an interest in Earth, because they knew, Maltus before, this is where the next Guardian was going to come from? And
yeah. And in the latest Green Lantern series, the writer basically says, because Earth is a crux world, it's special. Like Xanshi was special, like Krypton, like these. That's why there are so many humans that are Green Lanterns, because Earth is special.
Wait,
I think it's pretty special. I like Earth.
I was going to say, what? Wait, Krypton? What is that? Is that special? I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I don't know. That world, something happened to it, maybe? I don't know.
You don't hear that. You don't hear about that planet every 2 seconds. So what is that? But yeah, then it basically just ends up playing the piano with everyone at the end.
Yeah. And
we really don't address the Cat Matui thing, do we?
We don't address Cat Matui. There's Chip is there, and it looked like Old Timer was there too. I mean, did I misread any of that? Because I thought I saw Old Timer just hanging around.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's like, that last page, he's sitting there. I mean, again, is this supposed to be literal or not? But he's sitting there playing the piano. Katma's there. Rose is there.
And, Salak is there.
And that's the other thing. I don't think we ever see Rose again, do we?
Not that I'm aware of.
Unless she shows up.
We get Carol Ferris in Extreme Justice, I think, right?
Yeah, I think to wrap up that whole Star Sapphire pregnancy thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But besides that, I don't think we heard. Like I said, unless it's buried in the Justice League something or other I never read. Yeah, I don't remember Rose ever showing up again.
Yeah.
So we really left that dang. Oh, there you go, current Green Lantern. There you go.
Well, and that's something. There's been a couple of interviews with Jeff Thorne, the writer on Green Lantern right now, that I found pretty interesting, because he's referencing, some of these issues, specifically around Mosaic, because those are it's John Stewart's series, and he's familiar with the circumstances of the writer of stuff too. So but he seems to be doing seems to be doing things in a very thoughtful manner about what he's using and what he's not using. I find it pretty interesting. He posts pretty regularly on Twitter, and I think he has some like annotations that he published to the first 2 issues on his Patreon or something that are free, which is it's interesting to read.
But no, I'm looking at the website where I get the synopses from, and it's saying, all the characters who are in it, and there's a ton in there, but, no, it's saying Cap Matui, and it says, in dream sequence only, so is a lot of this a dream sequence?
I guess. That's certainly, the resultant continuity seems to suggest that it was a dream sequence. Right?
Yeah. And then, this issue is reprinted in Green Lantern John Stewart, a celebration of 50 years. I think I might have missed that.
So, Matt, when you read the latest Green Lantern series, they do reference that John was a Guardian. And that was the spoiler. So
yeah, what was it, like issue 4 or something at the beginning?
Yeah, I think it was issue 4 because he's knocked unconscious or something, and we get a fragment of a memory. When he's talking to Ganthet. I think he's talking to Ganthet, isn't he?
I think he's talking to some Guardian. Doesn't he want them to take his Guardian power away? And the Guardian's like, I can't do that, but I can. I can make you forget your powers, but I can't take it away.
So it's interesting. I mean, it's kind of fun that some good things are being taken from this stuff pre-Emerald Twilight now.
Yeah.
Because even in Rebirth, most of this was completely ignored.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it was just anything for Guy Gardner. They whatever Chuck Dixon ended up doing with Guy Gardner Warrior and all that stuff thrown out the window. Whatever they did with Kilowog, whatever they did with anybody else, boom, we got the reset of the status quo. These are GLs, right?
Oh yeah. He's like I said, Guy Gardner's going to lose that ring in the next couple months, and then by 0 hour, doesn't he get like different powers and stuff? He
like has
not even ring days. Yeah,
Voldarian DNA, or
alien DNA. Yeah, which he keeps until Hal Jordan comes back in 2004.
Yeah, and he becomes the old human Guy Gardner again with a ring.
So I'm assuming Guy Gardner must have been selling at least somewhat decently if they decided to they're like, okay, all the most of the ring stuff's going away, so why are we going to save Guy? Give him different powers, I guess.
Yeah, it's hard to think about how many copies of individual issues. There were so many more comic book shops, back in 93, 94.
Yeah.
The median, whatever like X-Men was the bestseller, and it was selling well over 100,000 copies a month, which is a lot in today's market, right? So, it's, I don't know, Mosaic I still think it was that writer's kind of magnum opus for GL, for Green Lantern. I don't know that it all hit quite right, and I'm still...
And he had to end it too. 'Cause it sounded like he had it plotted out to like 25 at least, and
which is where this was supposed to take place. And then that was the first half, so maybe plotted out to 50 even. So
so they chopped them off at least 7 issues early. So it's like
and it was certainly there was nothing else like Mosaic on the stands. I will say that there was nothing else like it. At the time.
Oh yeah, it's like the complete opposite of like Guy Gardner.
Yeah, and I hadn't remembered the ending. I hadn't remembered these last 3 issues. I'm sure I read it when they came out, but this reread I think has been good just because it made me kind of appreciate what was being attempted at the time, and many years later now, perhaps it's not as good as I thought it was, but it's still good.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to see where he came from. But Matt Kona, this is your first time reading it. What did you think now that we're through Mosaic?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was very original and very heady, and I kind of got some. It was like a comic book got sort of like a sci-fi indie movie treatment to it. Like it was, especially with the ending. It was very. I don't know if it was as a result of them sort of having to. I don't want to use the word rush because I thought it was just like an interesting ending, but just reading the pages afterwards, talking about how the hope was for it to get to 25, like they had more things planned to explore in the world of Mosaic itself, not just focus on Jon Stewart's arc, but I dug it. Yeah, I thought it was very engaging and at times very bizarre, and for so long having all these cities and towns and worlds as part of it, wondering when they're going to get back to find that everyone's mostly drinking the Kool-Aid and didn't want to go back was a big twist. Yeah, I thought they played it out real well.
And even if he didn't know exactly where Emerald Twilight was going to go, I wonder if their plan was always to get rid of the Guardians for a while. So it's like, yeah, this wouldn't have worked without the Guardians, maybe.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, it's funny because once Mosaic ended and we got Emerald Twilight, I mean, I don't feel like the Guy Gardner series. I don't feel definitely the Green Lantern series. JL, any DC suit, it's like this never happened.
Yeah.
This is just totally ignored, up until...
There's like like Emerald Twilight is the definitive line. It's like, okay, here's stuff that everything came before or after.
Yeah, nothing before matters. You don't, here's the new ring, here's the new status quo,
that's what
we're going to start, and Mars, I think, we're going to get into it.
Yeah.
Mars gradually started, bringing bits and pieces of, the previous continuity. It's almost like there's, the continuity of Emerald Twilight Plus and then the continuity before. He starts bringing a lot of that stuff back, gradually over the course of the series.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's him doing it because he wanted to, or that was editorially driven. I would like to think that, we'll get into the kind of weird journey that Hal Jordan takes from issue 48 until Rebirth.
Oh, yeah.
Just kind of wild, wacky, and goofy.
Oh, yes, Will, I did fulfill your request. I went on next year's schedule. I did add the Spectre issues, so...
Oh, okay, awesome.
I think we're doing large chunks at a time, but yes, we will cover the Spectre too. So, whoever that is,
I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, it's strange how I feel like I can point out a lot of the kind of the failures of this writer's run on all of these books.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lot of work that went into, this, almost 4 years worth of 3 series, right? Or at least, 4 years of one series and nearly 2 years on, the other 2 series. Just to have it completely almost ignored out of existence, it seems kind of weird, that happened. And now we're getting, the current writer, who I think is doing an amazing job on the series, starting to mine some of this stuff. I think it's kind of interesting and cool.
Yeah, I like when they can use past stuff, especially stuff that wasn't left dangling. So they bring it back.
But yeah, it's and I just want to thank you guys because I had the opportunity to go back and reread all this stuff, and I probably wouldn't have done it if we wouldn't have been doing this. So thanks.
Oh. Keep that in mind in 2 weeks, Will.
Yeah, I know. It hurt then. It's okay now. It's okay.
All right. You have any final thoughts, Matt?
No, I think that's well said.
Enough said.
Enough said.
All right.
Wait, those are silent issues, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Damn, Marvel. Yeah, so... Oh, yeah, that's right. So this is the last of Gerard Jones we're going to be doing, so... All right, because, yes, next week we'll be doing that Justice League of America 83 and Guy Gardner 15 through 17.
Cool.
And then, for those of you who haven't been paying attention every single week we mention it, yes, in 2 weeks, Emerald Twilight. Green Lantern 48.
Green Lantern's 48 through 50.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what happens in there. Do you know what happens, Matt? I don't know. I guess I'll find out, right?
That's like, I guess I'll find out.
Oh, did we lose him? Did we lose you, Matt?
No, wait.
No, there he is. He moved.
He's alive! But yeah, some books say explosive ending. Yes, 50 will. Yeah.
So, Matt, how, just out of curiosity before we sign off, how much of Green Lantern had you read at, Emerald Twilight and up?
I don't think I'd read any of it. I don't think so. I think I had remembered picking up some of the early issues of Green Lantern, but I think that unless there's some stuff like randomly that I would pick up, I don't know. I haven't flipped through the covers to see if anything became familiar to me, but I had probably at this time I was trying to read all of the Batman and Superman titles around the death of the broken back things, so I didn't read that much of anything else. I read some Flash later on, but yeah, probably not that much. So this will be mostly new to me as well.
I will be extremely curious to see now that you've been exposed to the, all of the writing before Emerald Twilight and then all the series and then, Emerald Twilight and then post Emerald Twilight. I'll definitely want to get your take on it because I'm curious to see how you see it now that you've kind of been exposed to what came before.
Getting exposed.
And Phil, I kind of like his opinion sometimes too. Right?
Sometimes. So yeah, I told you, can't wait for Kal Rayner, man. Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, next week Guy Gardner and Justice League, and then in 2 weeks, yes, thing Will's been waiting for, Emerald Twilight. So, and again, I keep saying Emerald Twilight, but I think the Guy Gardner stuff is already on DC Universe Infinite. So yeah, so kids, send your thoughts. I think we're up to the point where it'll be on the app. So email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Oh yeah, I've been announcing this everywhere. I guess I can announce it here too. Yes, starting in October. I mean, you shouldn't see much change here, but yes, the Southgate Media Group is disbanding. But yes, we're gonna try to keep the team together on Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks. Go into business for ourselves, and we're going to move a couple shows around. This one's staying right here because Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks we're going to try to make it all or mostly DC centric. So, but like I said, this show was not moving. So yes, if you're a fan of Sector 2814, you don't have to do anything; you'll still get it. So, all right. But yes, please, like I said, we're going to be supporting this ourselves now. So please help support us. Follow us on social media. You can find Sector 2814 on Facebook, Twitter, join Book of Oa, our Facebook fan group, find links to all the various social medias for all our podcasts, links to this YouTube channel. Please subscribe there. Most importantly, please go subscribe to the Patreon so we don't have to pay for this out of pocket. So please, yes, go subscribe to the Patreon. We're already, I know Lilith and I are going to do some stuff for the rest of the year, and then I think we were talking next year. Any of you guys want in, you can, but I think next year we're going to start doing brackets, pitting maybe bad superhero movies against each other until we get to the worst. So, yeah, so big things coming to the Patreon, or pick up some merch. We'll find links to all of that at Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. All right. Matthew Kona, where can people find you?
I'm at Matt Kona on Twitter and Instagram, and that's my name on Facebook. And I have nothing really to talk about, but you can talk to me because I am busy. I am behind in comic reading, but now I'll catch up on some current Green Lantern maybe if you want to talk some of that. So.
All right, this is just for Will.
The yin to Darkhawk's yang. Yeah, I haven't read the new Darkhawk series.
I didn't read it either.
I'm waiting for the Sleepwalker TV show. Slow down. We need this for drops.
All right. Will Allred, a master of the core, master of the quantum zone, master of crossover division. Where can people find you?
You can find me at Wallred. That's at WALLRED. Gmail and Twitter and Facebook and probably Instagram too. But you can also find my self-published work, Crossover Division. I am the humble writer. Art is by Pablo Martinena. Find that at crossoverdivsion.com. In fact, we have pre-orders available now. Kickstarter for number 2 ended, and we're on BackerKit. So if anybody wants to pick up a copy of numbers 1 or 2, you can do that via BackerKit right now. And if you're interested in my other work, Diary of Night, it's also available via that BackerKit store, or if you go to diaryofnight.com. And finally, we all love Quasar, so quantumzone.org is where you can find all kinds of cool stuff about Quasar and those issues.
Hey, boys, you look at the party? I love the party.
He goes limp in my grip.
Humble writer. He mentions it every 2 seconds, all those books. Not that he shouldn't. They're good, but still. All right. Let's get out of here while Cona's still horror or vertical, yeah. All right. I'm getting bad. I'm like, horizontal, vertical, what? All right. All right, kids. Thanks for joining us again. 1 week, Justice League of America 83, Guy Gardner 15 through 17. And then in 2 weeks, it all changes up.
Everything changes.
The Rise of Raider. Like that. Hey, remember that Sinestro toy? We don't see the toy.
Important plot point.
Alright, kids. Thanks for joining us. And remember, it's all in your head. And drink your coffee.
I am Connor from the House of L.
And I am Ray from the House of Zod.
We are 2 of the many survivors of Krypton's destruction, and we have made our home in Australia, and dare I say, have become Australians, for better or worse. But we have also decided to read Superman comics, read Superman books, watch Superman shows, cartoons, movies, basically everything Superman, and from an Australian perspective as well. Whether you're a seasoned fan, like me,
or whether you are coming in fresh, wide-eyed and wanting to learn more like me, then this podcast is for you. Join us for our bi-weekly adventures available on all good podcast catchers.
So just search for Last Sons of Krypton, a Superman podcast. We'll be coming to you from Australia or some cosmic dimension, wherever we are that week. Up,
and away.